The tabulation of the results is as follows. The third position, Samadi Das. And the winner is Heather Bass. And Aitchison, who, having restored the judiciary to new heights, suddenly found himself in the unexpected position of being a judge himself. We're delighted that you could join us and be here, but here is this point that you must question everything. And I'm just going to narrate a very brief anecdote. I went to the junior school and I noticed that in the K4 class, we were explaining geometry and 360 degrees. So I asked the children, I said, why 360 degrees? Why not 600? I said, now go home and ask your parents, why not 600? The next day, the control examinations comes to me and he says, did you ask one of the children about 360 degrees and 600? I said, yeah. He said, well, one of them was my son. And he came to me and said, Baba, why isn't a circle 600 degrees? And he said, I told him, I'll explain to you later, because I didn't know the answer. Anyway, the other day I got to Lums, and there was in the School of Science and Engineering, there was an MIT professor. And so I happened to narrate this anecdote to him. And he said, well, you see, the Sumerians, they believed in the figure 60, because it was the number that could be divided by the maximum number of prime numbers. It can be divided by 2, by 3, by 4, and by 5, and by 6. And that's why it is 360. I had no idea. He said, that's why I'm a professor in MIT. So, yes, you have to question. And the second is, as he rightly pointed out, the only thing permanent in life is change. A small tradition I've introduced, sir, and Sajjad Bhai and I, when we were talking earlier, he asked whether this kind of arrangement is a tradition or a break from it, and I said every tradition has to start sometime, and it always has a beginning. Something I've instituted here, sir, is that we, as a token of our affection, apart from the shields, which the head boy will give to you, the first is for the 3 judges. One of them was described as very intelligent, responsive, and a confident child when he was in K1A. And then he enjoys recitation, and he's an excellent artist. But he failed his HSC and repeated. Percy, here is a record from your file at Aitchison College for your son. Another boy who joined and is now extremely senior, his first test at school in 1941, I think it was 1951, Beauty, spelled B-E-U-T-Y, was a very pretty girl. She'd do all the hard work of his house, and his sisters always sitting and do nothing. Sajjad Rafi sir, that is your copy of your first test at Aitchison College. And there was a young man, he joined us in K3, and in the entrance test, it was recorded that he was careless in writing. In K3A, at the end of term, the first report on him read, he's a cheerful little boy who's rather disobedient and naughty. By the time he matured to C2, the teachers had a different opinion of him. He possesses intelligence much above the ordinary average. And by HSC2, what you saw an example of today, the seeds were germinated then. A good speaker and debater, I'm sure these qualities will be assets for him in the future. So, Result. I know I speak for all the Aitchisonians when I say that it is that they are the monuments. They are the monuments upon which Aitchison College's reputation has been built. It is not the sole building, it is not the campus, it is the living monuments that you see in front of you. And I'm going to request our head boy to give a more formal token to each of our judges with our thanks for being here with us and for inspiring the next generation.